Welcome, boys and girls, to the most exciting, fun project you will ever see. Oh, it's been about 3 hours now. Got this gas tank out of my truck. So the problem I was having with it was obviously smelling like gas, and it was leaking out of the the fuel pump. And look at that. That is a rusty thing right there. Man, it's all like taped up and stuff. I don't know what. It does not look good. It's a little rusty. So I've got the truck kind of jacked up because in order to get the gas tank out, you had to jack up the truck a little bit to drop it because this big end got stuck in the back. And I didn't have a jack. Well, I have mine for my truck, but this one I've got right there to support that one right there. And that thing, as you can see, is just like bending. So I don't trust that at all. That one's for like a car. But I had to work with that to lift up the wheel because that jack did not lift up the truck high enough, so I had to lift the wheel to get the gas tank out. And to get the gas tank out, it was underneath the truck, and I'm like, I'm not going underneath the truck with that little jack that's about to break. So I took this cord, hooked it up to this, and then pulled the gas tank out. And as you can see, it sits in there. So it rests on that thing right there. You can see this metal bracket. This part of the tank sits right in there. And then the back part gets held on by these two things. So it kind of lifts it up and attaches it to the truck. But my truck was just not starting correctly, so it would take a while to start. So you give it one key and it would crank over, and then one start, and then you give it another crank and that would always start. But yeah, you could smell gas when you went by the truck, and it was just causing some problems. But yeah, this is the new pump I've got in here. It's $300. So we're gonna take this pump off and hopefully get it working again. We have to detach all these lines. Look how rusty that is, man. I guess a common problem for the what's it called? GMC Canyons and Colorados is that this thing would rust out right here, and obviously it did. Like, look at that. And where look at that right there. Look at that rusty spot right there. Holy cow. Bet you that would just break right off. Man, that is rusty. Can't believe it even worked. Then we got this going on. So you have to just detach that line, crank that off. You have to just pound it off this way, and then take it off and put the new one in, and then put it all back in the truck. So that'll be super fun. It's been a project so far, 3 hours so far. The first thing that we were having problems with, Chuck and I, was that these bolts right here, where are they? Just had them. I don't know where they went. They were in a cup. Oh, right here. We're letting them soak right now. But these bolts in the truck were all rusted on. So we had to like crank them off, and that took a while. That took like an hour just to crank them off. And then this was pretty tough. As you can see right in here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Maybe I'll bring the light over here. But and then kind of see the light right here. Look how rusty that is. The rest of the gas tank looks pretty good. But in there, that tube, that was all rusty, as you can see. And that thing would not come off of there. Right there, that's where it attaches. Those two were tough to get off. And then there's two more that go right here, that attachment, and the attachment up here. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. So what I did was, first step was take these two bolts off that were in the cup. They were attached to these right here. That was holding up the tank. And then there's one way in here that was attached to that in the front of it. So it was two bolts total. And then this bracket, you had to like kind of maneuver off. And then before you drop the tank, you want to take off. You want to take off that one. That's one attachment. You want to take off these two. This is the feed from the actual gas feed line. And then this is an air line right here. So you want to take off both of these, and then there's one back here, the back one. It's like a back breather. And you want to take that one off too, otherwise you won't be able to drop the tank. Then once you drop the tank, there's 2 wires right there you have to take off that go right here and right here. So yeah, that's pretty much the process. So I'm gonna try to get this thing off, clean that out before I take it off, because it's sealed right now. So if I clean it right now, it'll be a lot better than taking it off and then trying to clean it. But yeah, then I've got the new pump. The new pump I got was, let's see here, I've got this thing on a jack right here, kind of sketch. I don't even know, the new pump is in the back. Hopefully this doesn't fall. Gotta be kind of careful with it. It's a precision fuel pump right in the back of here. That's what it looks like. So it's starting to become a super fun project. I did disconnect the negative lead on the truck just because I didn't want to shock myself while down there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll update you guys in the future, see if we can get it going, and hopefully I can fix the problem. But the truck looked pretty good. It wasn't horribly rusty underneath. Everything looked pretty good. So seems like it's going to be coming out pretty good. I'm gonna wait for Chuck to help me put it back in, because it's kind of like a 2-man job to lift that thing up and get all the brackets in and stuff. So I'll try to do this by myself and update you guys once it's done. So stay tuned. Should be super fun. Well guys, not good news right here. So I did all this work and ran into a couple more problems. So this is what we're dealing with right now. This thing is completely rusted on here. I've tried pounding, you can see where I pounded it on these things to get this thing off. It will not budge, not one tiny bit. And then these lines right here, those are rusted on. So I had to just cut those lines off completely from the thing. This one is also rusted on right here. Right there, that part. I don't know if you guys can see that. That thing's rusted on in there. So I think it needs some new lines. So I'm probably gonna take it somewhere. I've got the pump already for it, so I'm just gonna take it somewhere. I don't know if I can get the pump out or what, but I'm gonna have them put all new lines on it and put the pump in. And then I'll just put the tank in myself and call it good. But man, this thing has been a pain in the butt. That thing will not budge, and it's so irritating. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. Let me know if you guys know what to do in the comments below. But I've probably already taken it in by now, and yeah, it's not gonna budge. So I think that's gonna be the video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll update you guys on what happens later on, but this is just kind of the process you go through when a fuel pump goes out in the truck. I recommend doing it yourself if it's not rusted like that, which is insanely bad. Because I looked around and they were charging $600 to $800 for the labor and stuff. So it's definitely worth doing it yourself if you know what you're doing. Alright guys, hopefully you learned something from this video. I know I did. I know that those things are tough to get out, those pumps, especially in this GMC. I don't know why they make it metal where it can rust, but I bet you all the salt and the stuff gets in there from Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin, so it's snowing and rusty and salty, and so I bet you it all compiles right in this little compartment, just rusts right out. So hopefully you guys learned something from that video. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, share it if you want to, and I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, so a little update on this guy. I posted a story to Instagram and asked you guys what you guys recommended me to do to get this fuel pump off. A lot of people said soak it in WD-40 or another compound, and I let that sit overnight, and I pounded it away. I had it this morning and it didn't budge at all again. So I think, I don't know what to do. I think it's stuck in there pretty good, But I think I'm gonna take it to a shop and see what they recommend me do. I don't know if I have to get a new fuel tank. I guess I'll just get a new fuel tank. But yeah, that's pretty much the update on that. So I'm kind of stuck with this truck like this. And yeah, so that's the update on that. I haven't really gotten anywhere too much, just cleaned up the area a little bit, and that's pretty much it. So stay tuned on this. I'll update you guys in the future, probably next week. I'm gonna get this thing done. It's been a little bit of a project because of the rust. If I wasn't in Wisconsin, I wouldn't have a problem, but it's Wisconsin. They ice the road, or they salt the roads, and ice and salt and water doesn't mix very well, it causes rust, and that's that. Quick update on the tank. I worked at it because I don't like giving up, and I did get the ring off. This ring was around it. Look at that thing. So much I pounded on it. The thing was like completely destroyed. But this thing is now loose. I'm just gonna clean up all this stuff, then take out the pump, see what that looks like, clean up the inside of the tank, put the new pump in, try to get these things out of here, these attachments, and put the thing back in the truck. So stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome to a new video. As you guys know from the previous video, my truck is getting worked on. I took out the gas tank to get to the fuel pump, which was leaking because I guess GMC Canyons are notorious for rusting out the fuel pump on the top of it. So yeah, it was rusted out pretty bad, and I had a tough time getting it out. A lot of people commented on my Instagram. I'll show you guys some of the people. Let's see here. Give them a little shout out for doing that, because that helped a lot. Let's see here. Let me see. Like this guy, Harry Mahar. I don't know if you guys can see. He said, White Spirits Wire Brush WD-40. I used a lot of WD-40 here. This guy said put a screwdriver through it and cut it out. I was going to do that, but I did put a screwdriver through there's like a brace that holds in the pump. I did that. Sam. This guy says a rust ripper. I don't know what that is. Then this guy said TRX PO 6X. Spray like the Kaboom cleaning spray around it and let it sit. And then I said, I'll try that, thanks. And then he said to try Coke and just let it sit, and then scrub it off with the Coke, because I guess it like dissolves rust or something. And I said, thanks man, give it a shot. I really appreciate all those suggestions in the comments. Keep them coming. If you guys want to know my Instagram, it is 2_vintage_. I'll go do it right now and show you guys quick here, just so you guys can kind of know. Like, here's my story for today. Got this new truck that I'm gonna be talking about here pretty soon. But yeah, you guys can like go through my entire story and do behind the scene, and then taking out the gas tank. My Instagram is 2_vintage_, and here's what it looks like, the page, so you guys can kind of see what it is. But yeah, now we're gonna talk about the truck out there.